I sent out 32 letters to mayors around the country, and I've with 7 governors telling them, you better comply or you're next. We're going to work with our other agencies to cut off their federal funding. We are going to send in law enforcement just like we did during the LA riots, just like we're doing here in Washington, D.C. And if they're not going to keep their citizens safe, Donald Trump will keep them safe.
That is Attorney General Pam Bondi. She is doubling down on her warning to sanctuary cities and states. They face a deadline of today to reply to her letter, either confirm that they will cooperate with federal immigration enforcement or they must face consequences. And some are still resisting. Boston is one of them. Just today, this morning, the mayor there holding a news conference to say this.
The U.S. Attorney General asked for a response by today. So here it is. Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures. Unlike the Trump administration, Boston follows the law. That has made us the safest major city in the country.
So this comes despite example after example of Boston releasing accused rapists, gang members, drug dealers, and violent assailants, all in defiance of ICE detainers. C.P. Cotton is...
So what's it all about, Alfie? Who's telling the truth? You know, they can debate stats all day. The city has their numbers. The federal government has their numbers. It's a tug of war. I said it is a tug of war. Is it Tuesday? Wow, August 19th of 2025, 2:21 in the PM. How are you? Let's say it together. Praise God for whom all blessings flow. So there is a list. Woo! She sent out what? What'd she say, 27 letters? Mayors and governors? Seem to be a new sheriff in town. It ain't Chuck Connors of the Rifleman, is it? It ain't Kojak, is it, with the blow pop and the bald head? Who else we got out there from back in the day? Got the Rifleman, Chuck Connors. I like the Rifleman. Shout out to the Rifleman. Handsome dude with the jeans. Y'all know the ladies, y'all like him back in the day. I digress. Kojak for the fellas. Oh, man, you know. But when Perry Mason speaks, it's on. Trump got the right one. Let's go down this list right quick. We got Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Berkeley, LA, Denver, Albuquerque. It's that Minnesota, Philadelphia, East Lansing, Chicago, where I'm at, or should I say Chicago, Boston, Jersey, Newark, New York. Boy, she could have just sent an email and saved us some money, right? She sent some letters. And today is the deadline. Think about it, people. I have been saying that there was going to be a showdown at the OK Corral, and it's going to happen in certain pockets of the United States. And I think you can see, especially from the video I produced earlier, that video should have been out around 9 or 10 o'clock. I forgot to send the send button. I didn't get it out till the noon. But anyway, watch the video I did earlier. People, the plan is in effect. And I wondered how they was going to be able to pull off this caper. I think I see it. And I think you see it too. It's called the science of gradualism. Gave them a date, but the resistance is real, right? The resistance is, and will it work? The resistance is real. See, Trump sent, he sent the law enforcement, he sent the troops to D.C., but now, under the guise of these illegal criminals that we need to get up out of here, which I get it, we need to. But depending on how it's handled, and you send certain agencies or the army or whomever out there, this thing can get a little bit dicey, a little bit crazy. And let's just say if we have, I don't know, 75% of all these cities get a little bit rowdy. You talking about civil war. People, this morning, I ran a video and I forgot to cover it. But you know this guy named here, what's his name? Dorsey, let me see. Commentator Dorsey, reporter Dorsey. What's this guy's name? Dorsey. His name is Dorsey. Mr. Dorsey with the news. That's his name, Dorsey. I can't think of his name right now. I'm really. Anyway, there's a report. I can't think of his name right now. There was a reporter that asked Trump something earlier this morning in relation to this, and he said, Mr. President, and I'm paraphrasing, but it went something like this: Mr. President, do you think that you're causing some type of social unrest and civil unrest by what you're doing here with the DC police and other things you want to do to other cities? I think that was cold. I forgot what reporter it was, but it was said. It was said. People, what do you think? I'm in Chicago. I really think they're gonna implode this thing, people. I'm letting you know. I'm watching the strategy. That's why I'm covering it. In the other video, I informed you that they're doing it through DC because they don't have a governor, and they're saying the crime is high, but yet they're saying that the crime is low. In San Francisco, they're saying the crime is low, but they're on the list. But Bondi's saying, look, I get what you're saying, but I got a job to do, you feel me, as DOJ director, and I'm under Donald Trump, who's saying, get these bad illegals up out of here. So either way, whether it's justifiable saying bringing the National Guard in DC for crime, and you bring in whatever you're going to bring in to these other cities, and the justification is illegals, you still got somebody other than the police policing the city. That's my point. And my thing is, once them roaches is in, oh, Pearson shouldn't have went there. Once those people are up in there, do you think they're leaving? I want to know your honest opinion. They are going to be on our grounds. But again, I want you to see how the thing is being formatted. They got to justify the move, baby. They got to justify the move. Woo! Here's the mayor here, Boston.
Thank you so much. Now I'm going to turn it over to Senator Ed Markey, followed by Council President Ruthie Lejeune and Chairman Aaron Michaelwitz.
So that was her. Now she's going to let him talk.
Thank you, Mayor Wu. Thank you, Boston Police, for making Boston the safest city in the United States of America. Mayor Wu and the Boston Police do not need Donald Trump or his National Guard to tell them how to make Boston the safest city in our nation. They are already doing it. They can teach lessons to Donald Trump and to ICE as to how to best police this country. They are, in fact, abusing the constitutional rights of Americans. They are invading cities across this country, and Boston does not need the help of Donald Trump. does not need the help of ICE, does not need the help of the National Guard to come here. They are already doing the job. So we are here today to stand up to Donald Trump's authoritarianism. And it's no surprise that Trump and his MAGA Republicans want to pick a fight with our hard-working state and local leaders, especially here in Boston, for their political theater, because that's all that it is. Trump has set his sights on Boston.
Modern look.
Why would he go after Boston? That's JFK territory, isn't it?
And on our way of life. Trump has attacked our universities, sought to kneecap our economy of brain power, unlawfully withheld federal funds, terrorized our hardworking.
That's going to be the biggie right there, people. I'm not more than 2 blocks from a illegal, I don't want to call it shelter, it's a building. They converted a church that has educational operations. They got like 1,600 illegals up in there. When this funding is cut, what is going to happen? Because look, I'm painting a reality that you and I will have to deal with. If they cut the funding, what does that do to the community? Those places which they have these illegals, if they cut the funding because the governors and the mayors aren't cooperating with Donald Trump and the Attorney General, what will happen? Will they be out in the streets on their own? Or they're going to find another place for these people to stay? Or they're going to send them back? Because let's just say hypothetically, like not too far from me, we got 1,600 illegals. Suppose there's only 100 which are bad guys. I think what's going on here is the checkerboard of good cop, bad cop. And they all playing a game on both of us. They all playing a game on the United States citizen so civil unrest can go down. Now, will it work? Here's a gentleman speaking in relation to Pam Bondi and her approach to this thing.
I think by and large, yes, it will work. And yes, they have to comply. And here's why it will work. They're putting pressure on these sanctuary cities, and certainly some of them are going to fight sort of to the end. But just since the beginning of the Trump administration, this Trump administration, there have been 761 jurisdictions that joined the 287G program, which is a program with localities cooperating with ICE. So they've already inspired so much local cooperation, which is one of the reasons for having so much success at the border. But the consequences for these sanctuary cities are really severe, and they're going to start facing them. And when I'm talking about consequences, I'm talking about criminal investigations for things like obstruction of justice, but also for alien harboring, because it's a federal felony if you do anything to shield or harbor an illegal alien and from detection from ICE. And these sanctuary cities have been doing just that by hiding them from ICE, making it more difficult for ICE to reach them, to deport them, to detain them. So they're going to face criminal, not only prosecutions, but investigations that will be substantially expensive for whatever locality, plus they may not like the ultimate result. So yes, it will be effective, and yes, it has been effective, and we're seeing the results, not only in crime rates in certain places, but also on the border.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I believe you're going to have pockets where the news is going to cover it, and the social unrest will be utilized as a way to have to maintain the presence of additional types of law enforcement. And then they'll go into another phase where it will come upon the citizenry. I believe they're going to have a lot of fake events in relation to this. It's coming, people. This is how you take over a country, gradually, and you got to justify it another way. It's under the guise of illegals. It's under the guise of illegals, under the guise of criminal illegals and under the guise of crime. Now, what other reason they're gonna justify putting the Army and National Guard on our streets? I don't know. I'm just trying to keep you informed. Now, here's my mayor. Check him out. My mayor, Mr. Johnson.
That you talked earlier about how you don't believe that Donald Trump has the right to send the National Guard here. But what are your plans if the president moves ahead on such plans to try to have a police force of some kind in Chicago from the national government? How are you, is it just court action? Like, what are you planning to do if that happens?
Well, look, the governor and I, we're on the same page here, right? And so, legal action, will be on the table. But I want to make something perfectly clear. These individuals are not being sent to cities to police cities because they're not trained to police. These are soldiers. They don't go through the training that our police officers go through. In fact, it is quite hypocritical on the part of the president to even suggest such a move, and it is destabilizing for the city of Washington, D.C. Look, crime is down in Chicago. Crime is down. There is more work for us to do. But, he wasn't adamant about
this man, he tells just as many fibs as the president. He speaks to the camera. There is a segment of all big cities, which includes Chicago, certain pockets where I, as a black man, won't even go over there, even during the day. The gangs are ferocious. They're being fueled with guns and drugs and everything else. And instead of this thing being squashed, like I said in other videos, it's allowed to continue. And then now you have the mayor fighting the president. But everybody's involved in the game. It's good cop, bad cop, so they can move forward with their hidden agenda, and that is the New World Order, the golden age. And so they got these thugs out here. This is why in the rap industry, think about what I'm saying. This is why they glorify rap, because it's all part of that system and the cycle of things that they got. No rapper that I have seen in my lifetime has come forth and taken accountability for carrying themselves like gangbangers, drug users, pouring out a little liquor in their videos, calling women B's and H's, and instead of dressing like handsome men and being accountable, they're looking like thugs. Because it's all a part of the ball of wax. The rappers allegedly play their role. The president's playing his role. My mayor is playing his role. And everybody's living a lie. Everybody's living a lie. And we who are citizens who got good sense, we're bewildered. Like, what in the world is going on? We're voting, but the vote is not working. And you got red light cameras every other block. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm trying to say. You're constantly taking our freedom. Now you want to bring more law enforcement instead of making the DA do what they're supposed to do. Instead of making the courts do what they're supposed to do. The solution is bring more law to restore the bad order which you allow to persist.